Congresswoman Ilhan Omar and her Michigan colleague are speaking out after Israel blocked their plans to visit the Jewish state. The first two Muslim women elected to Congress criticized the decision, saying it only deepens divisions and lessens understanding. Eric Nelson joins us now with more. Eric?
Yeah, hi, Delane. Congresswoman Ilhan Omar and her Michigan colleague Rashida Tlaib recently expressed support for an international movement calling on Israel to end its occupation of the West Bank and other disputed territories. The movement compares Israel's treatment of Palestinians to the history of apartheid in South Africa. Meanwhile, their views have drawn criticism from Israel to the White House.
People of all different faiths are coming together to speak up against the status quo in the region.
When U.S. politicians Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib speak these days, people listen.
Netanyahu's decision to deny us entry might be unprecedented for members of Congress.
An overflow crowd of media and supporters showed up at the Minnesota Capitol on Monday as Omar and Tlaib spoke about being barred from traveling to Israel.
Denying visit to duly elected members of Congress is not consistent with being an ally.
The tandem came out strongly against the ban and bashed President Donald Trump.
We know Donald Trump would love nothing more than to use this issue to pit Muslims and Jewish Americans against each other.
As a young girl visiting Palestine to see my grandparents and extended family, I watched as my mother had to go through dehumanizing checkpoints.
Omar represents Minnesota's 5th District.
I kind of think some of the things you say has some substance.
Which includes Brooklyn Center, Golden Valley, Robbinsdale, Crystal, and New Hope. Some people in that area weighed in on the travel ban.
Well, I think it's wrong because I kind of think if you're going to have a country that to be what Israel claimed to be, how can you turn away a person that is coming to seek some information about whatever?
I feel like she's a great lady, and I feel like what she's doing is for a good cause. So I guess let's use the term that America used, let her be great.
Now, the president kept up his criticism of the two politicians after their press conference. President Trump said, quote, "Sorry, I don't buy Representative Tlaib's tears. I have watched her violence, craziness, and most importantly, words for far too long. Now tears? She hates Israel and all Jewish people," end of quote. Meanwhile, Omar called on others in Congress to visit Israel to see things the way they are over there. Delane?
All right, thank you, Eric. Maple Grove's largest employer is expected to get even larger. Boston Scientific has acquired British healthcare company BTG for $4.3 billion. The acquisition will help Boston Scientific expand its treatment options for cancer. BTG makes minimally invasive products for treating liver and kidney cancers. Boston Scientific expects to add jobs in Minnesota through the deal. It's currently about to start construction on an addition to its Maple Grove campus. Firefighters from several local departments are getting a unique training opportunity this month. This empty home in New Hope is the site of several live fire training exercises. About 50 firefighters from the West Metro, Golden Valley, and Maple Grove fire departments are taking part in the training. The departments get to practice crew management, learn how to attack a fire, study the fire's behavior, and get to work on their communication. Fire officials say the last time they conducted such a training was last October.
They're hard to come by, but it is significant training for us. It's the only way for them to see and feel what it's like to make entry into a fire.
The final training exercises will happen this Saturday. That's when they plan to burn down the entire house. More than 30 kids are learning what it takes to become a police officer. The Crystal Police Department held its inaugural Junior Police Academy Monday and Tuesday. Officers hope the program broadens young people's views and interest in law enforcement. Participants went through a series of activities, including canine demos, physical agility training, and ride-alongs.
But not only is it these cool things for them to see and experience, but it also kind of shows the partnerships that we have within law enforcement and how it's not just the Crystal Police Department that serves our community, it's also the state agencies, the federal agencies, and then our neighboring agencies as well.
It costs $20 for the academy. However, the police department has scholarships to help cover some of those costs. Some new restaurants are coming soon to Brooklyn Park. A couple of them are familiar chains. Another replaces a sandwich shop that moved to Minneapolis. Brooklyn Park officials say Johnny Boy's Pizza expects to open soon at the former Fat Chance location right across from North Hennepin Community College. Fat Chance closed this location in January. Also coming to Brooklyn Park, 3 restaurants north of Highway 610. They include a Chick-fil-A, a Panera Bread, and a new restaurant called Rolls and Bowls. Rolls and Bowls should be opening soon at a former Pita Pit location. It was quite the team effort. 2 local groups collected more than 6,000 books for students in Nigeria. Topline Credit Union teamed up with Brooklyn Center nonprofit African Education and Health Initiative for a month-long book drive. They showed the results on Tuesday. Topline also awarded the Brooklyn Center nonprofit a $1,500 check to support education efforts in Nigeria.
Right now, my understanding is that anywhere from 5 to 10 students share one book. So now they have the opportunity of having their own books and a library stocked with educational materials, anything from science to mathematics to nonfiction to fiction.
The donations and scholarship money will be delivered to schools, libraries, and colleges in Nigeria in October.
Football season is just over a week away now. As we head back to the gridiron for our daily prep football training camp report, we visit a team looking to bounce back this fall with a winning record. It was an uncharacteristic losing season in 2018 for Maple Grove. Despite having one of the state's best running backs in Evan Hull, the Crimson finished the season 4-6. Hull and a lot of the Crimson sides up front graduated, so this year's team will have a new look.
I think we're scrappy. We're not real big, and so I'm hoping our attitudes is what carries us. We're going to be little, but I think we're going to fly around and play fast. And like I said, hopefully we're like a bunch of chihuahuas that kind of nibble your ankles off, and by the end of the game, it's hard to walk, if that makes sense.
Yeah, we're definitely not a huge team. We're not going to scare anybody off the bus, but we're definitely going to be a faster group. Our middle linebackers are really quick. It's just my size. I'm not the biggest guy out there, but we're definitely quick.
With a smaller line up front, the Crimson are changing their offense up to fit their personnel and will be running a modified veer.
It's a lot of learning, a lot of new things, a lot of getting out on the field. You have to, fix things up and stuff, but it's a lot of fun. A lot of new guys coming up, a lot of seniors that are getting more playing time, so it's going to be a lot of fun this year.
Among the offensive players back from Maple Grove in 2019 are junior quarterback Nate Elms, quarterback slot receiver Spencer Weary, fullback Herbert Fisk, receiver Luke Raymond, and lineman Tyler Weens. On defense, linebacker Anthony Gibson is a good one, and Cooper Wegscheid is a hard tackler. Both guys will likely see time on offense too. Defensive lineman Joe Bulow and linebacker Joe Schmidt are also players to watch. Perennial state football power Eden Prairie isn't on Maple Grove's schedule for the regular season, but there are still a lot of tough teams for the Crimson to battle.
You open with St. Michael, and they're going to be good, and then Totino had a lot of young kids play last year, and I know they're feeling much better about them. And then we got Edina third, and then Blaine, who finished in the final 4-4. So we're a team right now that we're trying to figure ourselves out. So every opponent's going to be a huge challenge, and we're just looking forward to playing on Friday night.
Season at Maple Grove with a 62-25 career record. A total of 9 starters return. The Crimson open at STMA next Thursday night. The fall sports season is getting started at schools around the northwest suburbs. Over the past 6 weeks, we've featured some hard-working athletes who put in a lot of summer work. On our final Workout Warrior Stories for the summer, Jay Wilcox visits Champlin Park High School.
Getting up early and heading to summer training is no burden for Champlin Park senior football player Cole Fredrickson.
I love it. I love coming here every morning. I've been doing this since freshman year, so it hasn't really changed much. I think freshman year we might have started a little bit earlier, and we might have gotten done a little bit later. But it's pretty much the same thing every year. All the guys coming together, putting in work, and trying to get better for the season.
While Champlin Park's weight room was being redone this summer, the weights moved to the smaller wrestling room, but it didn't slow the work.
Last summer, I think we were a little bit upstairs and a little bit down here too, but having it all condensed into here, it makes it a little tight, but you know, we get by, we do what we can, and at the end of the day, we're just here to put in some work, so.
The first football games are next week. Cole and his teammates started preparing long ago.
Because for us, this year's football season started when we lost in the section championship game last year. And you know, the very next day it was, we need to put in all the work that we can to get ready for this season, because we want to make this season different than last season.
It's good to have a goal in mind to drive your workouts. It's something Fredrickson thinks about.
Our team goal is to make it to state, and every rep is one rep closer to the chance of making it to state, or the chance of making that one play that could, you know, set the team apart from other teams.
For Workout Warriors, Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
Fredrickson and the Rebels have a series of scrimmages Saturday at Minnetonka. They open the season at home against Eastridge High School August 29th.